is the toughest teacher. It gives the test first and the lesson follows. What my mother didn't tell me was, who do you turn to for the lesson? Contest chair and fellow viewers. At the age of 12, I was certain of only two things. One, Batman and Robin were awesome. And two, my relationship with my math teacher was awful. His name was Mr. Kelly. But when you're 12 and as tough as I was, oh no, I called him Cold Kelly. And when Cold Kelly entered the classroom, he would look at me and ask, Peter, can you find X in the equation? Mr. Kelly, isn't it next to Y? Mr. Smarty Pants, huh? For homework tonight, you will write 100 times. I foolishly failed to listen to my teacher. For Cold Kelly, every day began and ended with maths. For me, every day began and ended in misery. Peter, what's that under your desk? Mr. Kelly, it's a comic book of Batman and Robin. He slowly walked towards my desk, took the comic book of my two heroes, and ripped it in half in front of my face. Done wrong again. Go to the principal's office and wait for me. In the end, I dreaded going to school so much that I stopped going. I was secretly skipping school for 10 days behind my mother's back and risking my future. And she was working day in and day out, trying to give me the best chances of success. But that evening, my mother looked very troubled. I knew I had disappointed her. I had wounded the heart of the person who cared for me the most. But my fear of Cold Kelly was so overwhelming that the way things were now, there was nothing I could say to make it up to her. And when you're 12, it's always your fault. But next day, I'm on the street playing, when I hear a voice call out, Peter, I want to talk to you. It was bright-eyed Miriam, my neighbor, the engineer. Miriam, I know my mother's been talking to you about me. But bright-eyed Miriam's words stopped me dead in my tracks. Peter, are you going to let other people decide your life for you? Or are you going to prove them wrong? But Miriam, Mr. Kelly just hates my guts. He ripped up Batman and Robin in front of all the class. I loved Batman. He supported and guided Robin. Look, Peter, you return to school, and we will do math and mentoring sessions together each afternoon. And if you be Robin, I promise to be Batman for you. What would you do if someone promised to be your hero? Next day, I returned to school. And within just a few weeks, with bright-eyed Miriam's support, I finally found the courage to face Cold Kelly's math questions. I answered those math questions like Batman would, without batting an eye. I had gone from Peter the Boy Blunder to Peter the Boy Wonder to move up to Maths Level A. In Level A, I started to realize what kept me going wasn't my obligation to my grades or to my mother, but to my mentoring relationship with Miriam. Maths and mentoring with Miriam turned into an exchange of ideas that led to new ideas. Mathematics, explained Miriam, comes from the Greek word mathema. This word means learning. When you can share your life lessons as learning, Peter, have something to give. Her food for thought filled my heart with courage as she put her hand on my shoulders and said the words that still hold true for me today. Peter, what really counts is that the life you live are the lessons you give. And I have never looked back. Today, I am a teacher, entering classrooms not as Cole Kelly did, to penalize, punish, and put down, but more like Miriam, to teach, support, and guide my students. Because the life you live are the lessons you give. Fellow Toastmasters, what kind of life lessons are people in your circle of influence learning from you? We don't always get to choose the relationships we find ourselves in, but we can choose what life lessons people learn from us. We all have the potential to be a Batman to somebody else's Robin, to add to somebody else's life. That's what builds relationships of enduring value. That's how you lift people up. That's what Miriam taught me. And today, I am certain of two things. Batman and Robin are still awesome, and the life you live are the lessons you give. Contest chair.